technically ready represents true character under pressure. Being able to adapt and flow. Yeah, you got to be in shape. You might say 2 minutes is not enough, but you try to do all this within 2 minutes. Everything you do in kata, yeah, people say, oh, it's not practical. Well, I don't know what they did, because to me, kata really can't always be in that ring trying to knock the person out. At some point in time, you got to be able to flow and move and dramatically get out the way. You can't always push your body to the point of exhaustion where you out there working fighting techniques. Sometimes you got to change the flow and let the muscle fully express itself. Full extension, like in Kung Fu Northern Shaolin, we talk about fully extend your limbs. Well, the whole purpose of fully extending your limbs is so when you close up, you have tremendous power behind your limbs. Why? Because they're naturally used to being fully extended. And then sometimes you got to be southern, you got to be short, you got to be close in. The ranges of combat, we got to understand all of them. When the guy's kicking, you should be punching and sweeping. When the guy's punching and sweeping, you should be trying to kick. Or outmaneuver him when a guy is trying to lock you up. You got to go with the flow. That's what point MMA's trying to bring us back to. I mean, at one time, man, you could sit back in a dojo or in a tournament and watch the brown belt division, and they would blow your mind. Because those brown belts got out there and they were fighting so hard that they wanted to prove that they were worthy of wearing those black belts. Yeah, and I don't believe that, MMA as much as I enjoy watching it. But do I really think that it's something that we can freely go into the hood and teach without the true development of true character? Man, you'd be in trouble. Because if it was around when I was coming up, I wouldn't be here right now. When I could just go out and represent the attitude and ignorance that I had when I was on the street, I can be proud. If I could get away with dressing like a thug, and representing the bling and talking any kind of way I wanted to talk, and then, really had a swagger that represented all that lifestyle, man, I'd be dead or in jail right now. The true essence of traditional martial arts that allows you to branch out into a modern expression of who you are is about that, man, true character. You got to evolve beyond. You got to evolve beyond immaturity into maturity, and beyond the physical and the mental into spiritual. An emotional connection to something higher, something with a purpose. Point MMA is about that, man. It's about also taking our children, allowing them, they should not be in the ring doing MMA. Come on, man, that's insane. You can't do something like Point MMA where you can do controlled techniques, freestyle sparring techniques. We talking about old school point fighting. I ain't talking about that tip-tap and then stop and hit him with a back fist and, fall down and do all that stuff and stop fighting, hit with one technique. No, we ain't talking about that. We talking about a continuous motion. And most of the points are based on the proper execution of the technique that you see as a real judge. Not somebody who's trying to be a weekend master, or somebody who never won nothing, or somebody who just sitting back trying to stroke their ego and be disrespectful to the competitor. No, the one that respects the competitor and respects the artist and really trying to help them grow by being honest about what they see and by giving suggestions on how you can improve. Jeff Smith or Chuck Merman and all those great people, Fred Hamilton, that I had a chance to be around, to give me suggestions to improve and become a better person and be the martial artist that I am today. Point MMA is about that. And then we have what? The Sports Karate Legacy, which is a movement to remember those great masters. I mean, how can we be a part of a sport that give no credit back to the great ones that we criticize and no memory? Come on. There would be no Raymond Daniels, Jason Tanks, and Marco Johnsons, you name it, without the great ones. Yeah, you see all the tricking and all the flipping. Come on, you should be able to do that in a fight. Whatever you doing out there, and when you look at kata today and you look at extreme, you look at whatever, if you're doing a technique that don't represent fighting, yeah, if it's done in a manner where you're doing an aerial cartwheel that represents gymnastics, yeah, that's wrong. Because whenever we did a flip, it represent fighting. I'm like, how am I hit him with it? How am I get over the sweep with it? How am I going to use this? How am I I'm going to hit him with a backflip. How am I going to use these techniques? When I'm using an aluminum broadsword, what am I cutting? What am I trying to penetrate through? Yeah, the art of fighting in the way we teach it and the complete martial artist talks about. Nah, man. Yeah, it is used for effect. You can't nobody give you the reality of the street. Don't nobody really trying to go back there. So don't even be faking about a killer and a hurt them. And the real killers and gangsters are either in jail or dead. Or some of them still on the hood and they ain't get their just due, their rewards of jails or institutions of death. So I ain't gonna fake the funk. I'm here to try to prepare another generation to be much better martial artists than what we see. You can be a commercial successful school. You can be a great tournament promoter. But come on, man, we can't keep watering it down to feed someone's emotions. The reason why society the way it is right now, and why? Because we continue to adjust the pressure. It's the pressure cooker that makes you great. It defines your character. It makes you a better person. I know firsthand about the pressure cooker, defeat, and overcoming defeat. As Chuck Norris would say, go back to the drawing board. When I read the great Chuck Norris' stories of defeat, he always said he went back to the drawing board to make adjustments, come back out, and he won. That's what we're trying to teach this new generation. Freestyle sparring, point MMA. We're taking it back to the old school with a new evolution of sports karate. Sports karate does have value. That element of sparring can be used in our dojo. Everybody's not ready to go to that next level. Yeah, we represent the alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. Why? Because we know that we bring you point MMA, which is the beginning stage to develop that technique and that control. And then you got the MMA where you can go to in a ring and do it professionally, whatever you may do. And you can also be prepared for the suffering of the hard blows to your temple, to your body, and broken of your limbs, you know. Just like we see NFL players, and no criticism because I enjoy watching street MMA. Because remember, it might be the fastest growing sport, but if a couple of guys with some blunts and some 40s and some wild, crazy college kids are not buying into it, then it can't be popular. When the masses begin to get into all this, you got people sitting around drinking, smoking, getting high, doing whatever. And by being so simple, if I was able to learn all this stuff without a teacher through Kung Fu movies and get to this level, imagine what these kids are able to do and what level they going to get to. So guess what? When they choose not to change because the character and the pressure is missing, and you know what, for real, most of them don't even respect you when you make it soft for them. They need tough love. They need somebody to be real with them. We're dealing with a generation of children, teenagers that are more intelligent than any generation before us and got access to be able to see when you're trying to push something over on them and front on them and trying to take advantage of them and use them as, yeah, come on, man, a black belt, yo, I ain't even do nothing. You ain't even really challenging me. You giving me, you know, some weak black belt. Man, I ain't feeling you. I'm going this way to UFC because I can take you. You so scared of me that you trying to let me get by. Even through parenting, you see it happening. They need tough love. Be real, be direct. That's what you want to do. Shorty, you do it. But you just got to deal with the consequences of it. So when you water down stuff, you destroy that pressure cooker. Pressure cooker is weight. The pressure cooker is what makes you successful on all levels. So if you don't have your copy of The Complete Martial Artist, or if you're one of those people who say, yo, I ain't getting it. It ain't teaching me nothing. I was expecting more than that. And the book was showing you different moves with grappling and, you know, how the boxing things. And you came away from it criticizing and saying it didn't teach you nothing. It was designed to give you the complete overview of martial arts as an expression of what the next evolution of martial arts was all about. It didn't come from me, it came through me. So I take no credit to say that, yeah, you know, this represent my style. No, this represent the natural harmonious progress. We go on and saying the science of fighting is the ability to outthink and outmaneuver your opponent to hit them without getting hit. Not to sit there and take a full-fledged blow and get knocked out, because on the street you're going to get killed. They're designed to help you be able to evolve with the street MMA. Be prepared for the combative. For the adults, for the parents and the moms, you got to know about that, because your kid might go crazy. Some neighborhood youth might go crazy, and they coming at you with jump knees and jump elbows, and they got a will to never quit and survive whatever. They superheroes, they say. It's like we were. First it was Bruce Lee. Now it's UFC. What we gonna do?